Alright, now guys, we're going to look at the second half of this test. I'm actually going to look at the second half of the yellow test. Okay, so similarity ratio is the ratio of the corresponding sides, which is 4 to 10, which should be simplified to 2 to 5. Perimeter ratio is the same. Area ratio is the square of the similarity ratio, which is square of 2 to 5, which is 4 to 25. Okay. Um, Now, this one, number 2, is going the reverse direction. Okay. So it is saying that the area of the polygons are 324 and 225. So that means their ratio of their area is 324 to 225. So the similarity ratio is the square root of those, okay? And these are both perfect squares. Square root of 324 is 18. Square root of 225 is 15. And this will reduce to a 6 to 5 ratio, okay? Now, these, okay? These were the biggest point deductions on your test for many people. And it's just writing what you see up here. In a right triangle, the altitude, here's the altitude, CD, is the geometric mean, which means it exists in a, okay, proportion. Once in the numerator, CD. Once in the denominator, CD. It is the geometric mean between the two pieces of the hypotenuse, which are AD and DB. AD and DB. That's all you had to do. Okay? Second one, another geometric mean pertaining to the same triangle. Okay? Each leg. Okay? If you read through this carefully, it says write two proportions. So each leg, so I have one leg AC, is the geometric mean. Again, AC is a geometric mean, implying once upstairs, once downstairs. Between what? Between the hypotenuse, so the hypotenuse is AB, and the segment of the hypotenuse adjacent to the leg, which would be, in this case, AD. And the other proportion is pertaining to the other leg, which is CB. The other leg is a geometric mean, meaning appearing in the proportion once upstairs, once downstairs, between the hypotenuse, AB, and the segment of the hypotenuse adjacent to that leg, adjacent to, next to, which is DB. Okay? There's that proportion. And lastly, okay, the angle bisector. We get the proportion as stated here. The ray bisects the angle of a triangle, then it divides the opposite sides into segments, obviously into segments, which are proportional to the other two sides of the triangle. So we could write this a number of ways. We could say CD is the DB as, okay, AC is to AB, or we could say, you know, left side, right side, we could go CD is to, okay, AC, as DB is to AB, okay? The thing we know is with a proportion, okay, what's true is whenever we cross multiply it, we get the same thing. Then we know we got the right proportion. These last ones were all about implementing, for the most part, we're all about implementing those proportions that were just stated. This is the side splitter. We know we have parallels. We have the top to bottom ratio. X is to x plus 6, as x minus 3 is to x plus 1. Okay? And cross multiply and solve, and you should find in that instance that x equals 9. Just watch your algebra. Okay? Number 2 is the proportion that was just stated above here. So in that case, we get, okay, we could say 5 is to 8 as x is to 12, okay? All right, we could have also said 8 is to 5 as 12 is to x. Okay, either way, when we cross multiply, we get 8x equals 60. Same thing, we get 8x equals 60. That's why you know that the proportion, okay, is valid, because when you cross multiply, either way, you get the same thing. Here is, here in number 3, we use the statement that we got up here, okay, the corollary statement, all right, and that sets up the proportion as such, okay. What do we get? Okay, the leg of the triangle, the leg of the right triangle is the geometric mean appearing upstairs and downstairs between the hypotenuse, which collectively is 21 and 24 for 25, and the adjacent piece of the hypotenuse, which is 4. Cross multiply, x squared equals 100, so x equals 10. Okay, this is our, this next problem, okay, is, okay, using the statement that says that the altitude is the geometric mean between the two pieces of the hypotenuse. The altitude is the geometric mean between the two pieces of the hypotenuse. So y is the geometric mean upstairs once, downstairs another time, between the two pieces of the hypotenuse, 5 and 16. Cross multiply, y squared equals 80. Simplify that, that's y should come down to 4 radical 5, okay? Last couple, here's another repeat of the proportion involving the altitude being the geometric mean between the two pieces of the hypotenuse. Cross multiply and solve and find that x is equal to, you find 4x equals 36, so x is equal to 9, okay? And this one, we set up the middle, which is 15 to 26. 15 is to 26, as 16.5 is to y. This is a corollary to the side splitter. You can cross multiply and find that y is equal to 28.6 over, and then we set up the same ratio. 15 is to 26 as x is to 30. Cross multiply there and find x equals 17.3. Okay, and that is the test in its entirety. Where the hell is it now? Okay.